Hey everybody, I wanted to come on because this is usually the time of the year where people start thinking about their New Year's resolutions, right? And I know we're probably still a week away from it, but this is usually the time right after, the Christmas holiday if you're celebrating. But that's usually the time when people sort of start thinking about their year in reflection, their goals maybe for next year, because maybe they didn't finish or achieve the sort of like check marks that they wanted to at the beginning of this year. And maybe they want to just start fresh or just throw everything else old out and start brand new. And anyway, one of those things is obviously the health and fitness thing, right? So if you are a regular maybe gym goer, then you know that at the beginning of each year, it all of a sudden gets really, really crowded in the gym for at least a small period of time at least, right? So usually, it's like super slam packed in the gym. And then about between January 15th and 18th maybe is when it starts dropping off again, because people get super excited at first to jump right in, like full on, like jump right in, and then they sort of maybe they didn't have a plan in place to really set them up for success, and they burn out maybe after the first week, and sometimes they last like 2 weeks. Sometimes they last a month, but there is sort of like this period if you're not a regular, or if you're just really starting out and you don't really have a plan, to you have like sort of a set goal, and it might not even be like dropping. I know like one of the main goals people usually have is like, I want to drop X amount of kilograms, or I want to have huge biceps, or I want to get like this superb 6-pack ab thing, or maybe they want to run a marathon or half marathon or 5K or whatever. But like, if you don't have a real set plan of how you best get to that point, that's where people fizzle out. They fade out, they disappear, and a lot of times they're the ones that you hear talking about how they tried everything and they just can't do it. They cannot accomplish what they set out to do. And again, that's because they didn't have a plan. Maybe they didn't have the support, right? Maybe they felt pushed into it and it wasn't really their want, their choice, their own personal drive and motivation that got them there. Maybe they felt uncomfortable going to the gym by themselves. And maybe they are a super introvert who doesn't even want to ask. Like, they want to do all the right things, but they don't know, or they don't want to ask somebody because it's going to make them look like they have no idea. They don't want to look helpless, right? They want help, but they're afraid to ask because it might make them feel bad about themselves. They're afraid that somebody's going to make fun of them for not knowing how to use some of the equipment or what best to do to achieve whatever goal they have. It happens all the time, trust me. And so I wanted to jump on and talk about this because there are pros and cons when it comes to starting with a workout, or starting not just maybe even a workout, just starting any kind of movement, starting with just getting on a healthier path. Like, that doesn't necessarily start with a goal of a 6-pack abs or huge bicep, triceps, super toned legs, or whatever. We all start out, unfortunately, with sort of this unrealistic comparison game, because we have, like, it's January 1st and we're gonna 6 weeks from now we're gonna look like this person on the magazine that is going to is our motivation or something. But I really want everybody to kind of like dial it back a little bit, because that's exactly how we set ourselves up for failure and for disappointment and for that fizzling out at the gym, right? We're going to just disappear and complain how this is all not working. So you have to have a plan. If you have never ever exercised since PE class in school, I want you to really think about just starting simple, like super duper simple. Don't like start way at the top, and because that's when you're going to be disappointed most likely. So what did you like? Okay, so maybe you didn't like gym class. Maybe you're one of those people, and that's okay. Like, I don't want you to think like you had to love gym class in order to be successful now as an adult in your fitness journey. So, but if you didn't like gym class, then what did you like to do as a kid? Like, play outside. Maybe you like jump rope, skip rope, whatever you call it. Maybe you were just really enjoying riding your bicycle, or walking around town with your friends, going to the playground on the swing, or climb on whatever equipment that they had. Or maybe you loved inline skating or roller skating, or maybe you love playing basketball or tennis or badminton, something, right? Throwing a frisbee. So if you didn't love gym class, there had to be something that you like to do outside with your friends, or even by yourself. Like, maybe you lived in a neighborhood that didn't have a lot of kids your age, and you were just like kicking the ball against the wall and back and forth. So, but think about those kind of things that really brought you joy. And as an adult, you just obviously, moved away from that, but pick it back up. Like, even if it's just starting with walking around the block, or finding a social network online and find out if there's any parents, if you're a parent, or if you're single, mom, or single dad, or just a single person. Maybe there are people around you can find that are in a similar situation as you, and you can sort of connect with, even if it's just one person, because you don't need to necessarily go out and like find this huge group if that makes you uncomfortable. But maybe if you can just find one person who could be there, especially at the beginning, to be that support person, to, sort of help you hold yourself accountable, right? So to ring you up and say, hey, it's Monday. Remember, like at 5:00, we usually go for a walk. Let's do that. So, find that person, and then do that consistently. And you're going to feel like you're going to get stronger, and start feeling good about, just being in your own skin, and you have more energy and all those things. And maybe then you're going to add more days, or maybe you're going to add more distance. Maybe you're going to start jump roping. I don't know. But there's probably once you start like feeling how it lifts your spirit, and your body is like getting stronger, you're getting better sleep, because your body is tired, but it's like a good sleep. It's not like the where you wake up all the time tossing and turning. It's really good sleep. So that also will boost your energy as well throughout the day, right? So sleep is really important. But also, in addition to that, you're going to start eating better, because what happens is, when you feel better on a physical level, like a lot of times we automatically want to eat better, right? We want to definitely start, no matter what, we definitely want to start starting a better relationship with food, and not use food as a reward, as a comfort item, like, so if you are not having a good day, or somebody just totally yelled at you for no reason, and it was for something that you had no control over, or just something bad happened in your day, or you're just feeling depressed, or you're just feeling down, or just sad or happy, or you're super excited about something, like, don't use food of any kind as that sort of vehicle to make you feel good, right? Meaning if you're down to make you feel better, or you're really up and that's your way of celebrating. Like, don't use food that way. Use food truly as fuel to get you through the day. And that doesn't mean boring. And I'm not talking like cardboard nice chips, because that's ridiculous. But once you start moving and you're getting more active, you're actually gonna like, your body is giving you these signals where you want to eat better. You want to give your body something that it truly needs in order to keep doing the things that you just started enjoying. So exercising, all those things are important, but if you're looking to change your physical health and your mental health and just your overall well-being and sleeping and state of mind and attitude, you're going to have to incorporate nutrition with your exercise routine. Again, I say exercise routine, and I really mean like if you're just starting out, like walking, riding your bike around the block, whatever it is, like just start simple, right? Especially, like I said, if you have not worked out in a really long time, since, high school or something like that. And like I said, if you have somebody like you that can help you hold accountable to make sure that you keep doing what you're doing on the schedule really important, then that's even better, right? So, and that's really important, especially if you not ready yet to step into an actual gym, to get that. If you're not ready yet to get a gym membership, to walk into some kind of facility, and if you're not there yet, then start with little things like I just mentioned. Also, if you go to the gym, if you're not sure where to go, like I don't know if you're not sure if you want to do group exercise classes, or you want to do your own thing, or you kind of want to start maybe with weights, but it's intimidating and you don't even know what to do, what to pick up, and what the rules are, which there are none. So but just think of those types of things. So if you there's two ways of looking at it. Join a gym, maybe do a trial. And a lot of gyms have like a trial period for, like, maybe you get like a 3 or 5 day pass where you can just kind of try it out, like dip your toes in the water, so to speak, just go through all the different areas that they have in the gym to see. Maybe even if you're too afraid to participate yet, maybe just like sit somewhere in the corner, not in anybody's way, because sometimes people get really angry about that. So, start somewhere and sort of just observe. I remember I used to go to the Y, and where my kids were doing, floor hockey or something, there was actually a walking track on the top, and I wanted to watch them, but I didn't want to just sit there. So while they were doing their thing, I was walking the track. So I was I stayed in the walking lane, not in the running lane, right? So, if you want to just kind of observe to see first, if you wanted to even give this a whirl, right? So you could do that. You could just kind of observe first, or you can try out the different areas and see what you maybe start out with. Maybe you want to just do like a treadmill, a stair climber, an elliptical, a bike, a stationary bike, or something like that. Or maybe you want to start and just try out like a group exercise class, or maybe you always want to do kickboxing and whatever, Zumba and all the other things that gyms often have. Or you want to try weights and then, maybe observe first, or like ask somebody obviously who works there, who can show you the ropes and what's there and how to work the equipment and things like that. But if you're too timid to ask, because you see all the burly guys in there, and I know it can be intimidating, trust me, like I know. Maybe have a friend, like if you have a friend who goes frequently to the gym and they are super confident and they are in the weight room all the time and they don't care how many people are gonna have their eyeballs on them, go with that person, because then that friend can help you out just getting a little bit more comfortable, and you don't feel like you feel less like you don't know what you're doing, because they're kind of showing you along, and you can kind of figure out, like, is this something that I want to do, or do I just hold off on that and try something different, right? So you could do that if you don't want to jump right into a full-on membership. at the gym. Or maybe you're just like, none of these things really like feel right for me. Like, I just think it's gonna be too much, and I'm not gonna be able to get my money's worth, because I know I won't go, right? Especially when you don't have somebody with you. And you just kind of need that pull from somebody, and you don't have that, then it can be hard, and you might be one of those people who have that gym membership but don't utilize it, and that's kind of a waste of your time, of your money, and you don't want to do that. So then start with maybe your local park. Maybe there is like a fitness trail. Do that, maybe, like just to try different things out. And that's the really nice thing about those fitness trails. And a lot of like public parks have those where you can try out different equipment, and then you can still, do the walking trail or something like that. If you want to do like a jog, and maybe down the road you're going to do a run, you can do that, or just try different equipment out. You could do that. Or you can, like I said, sign up for a walking group. Or if you wanted to do some workouts at home, you could do that. I am not a professional, so I'm not gonna go out there and spend hours and hours and hours at the gym. I don't have that kind of time. I have kids, and I have a job, I have a life, and I don't want like working out to take my entire day up. Like, I don't want that to be that's the only thing I do. Like, I'm just a regular person wanting to stay healthy, wanting to stay strong, like, my goal is longevity, strength for long periods of time. So that allows me then to live my life fully, without any kind of obstacles, without like constantly needing to ask for help, even if it means just getting all my 5 grocery bags into the house in one run, right? That's what we're training for. We're training like those moms like us. We're just like going to do that just so we can get all the groceries in one trip, just because, right? So it's those little things. So don't feel intimidated when you see like these super athletes, that have like hours and hours at a time to spend in the gym and do all these different things, or the single stay-at-home women or something, and that's sort of the hangout spot. Which reminds me, if you are truly committed to your health and well-being, do not go to the gym or get a gym membership to sort of use that as your socializing aspect. Yes, it's a great way to find new people, to connect with people, but a lot of times it can distract you from getting the work done, right? Because we're going to run into all these different people, and every single person is going to stop us and want to like, catch up with us for like 5 minutes. And then before you know it, you ran into like 5 or 6 people, and there goes an hour and you haven't done anything yet in the gym. So you got to stay focused and make sure that you kind of put your blinders on almost when you go to the gym, where you're like, focus, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do XYZ, and then I'm going to, maybe wave, but like I'm not going to converse, I'm just going to do that. And if you want to socialize, maybe do it after your workout, right? Because if you are already like short on time, then you don't want to add to your drive time, to your changing time, to your maybe like, waiting on equipment line, like whatever the line is. You don't want to add more time to that by just talking to a million people and not getting your workout in, right? Because that's, in the end, that's really a goal. So keep that in mind. If you're already short on time, then utilize the time you have to your best ability, and really make it worth your time, your while. Like, just really, really stay focused on your goals. Then, of course, if you say, the gym, I don't think I'm ready for that yet, I think I'm just starting out with like home stuff, great. And I don't want you to be intimidated either. Like, you need to have like the superb like home gym to just get started. So I'm gonna turn my camera around because I want you to show like how like little equipment you really need if you were thinking about weights. So when I started out, let me see if I can turn this around somehow. When I first started out...
Sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, I could...
Siri's starting to talk to me. Okay, so when I first started out, this 5-pound weights were like my heaviest at the time. And I do still have my 3 pounds, and I think the 3 pounds is the lowest one I have. But trust me, you might still use these 3 pounds when you do a Superman. Because if you do a Superman move and you have 3 pounds in each hand, trust me, it's going to get heavy really, really fast. Same as some of the moves with 5 pounds. So don't feel like, that was really at the time when I first started out my heaviest weight. And then I moved up to 8 pounds and then 10 pounds. And then eventually 12 pounds. And then 15 pounds was like my heaviest for a long, long, long time. And then I went to 20s. And then a couple of years ago, I got for my birthday, I got 25s. And just this Christmas, I got 30s. I'm really excited about those now. So get some gloves, which I'm going to try out for my heavier weights, because I do get calluses, when I do the really heavy ones. So I try to not do that. And I also have some medicine balls, like these are 8-pound ones. And then I just have a mat. I have like a foam mat. This is really good for like stretching exercises, or if you do Pilates type of things or whatever. And then I have a jumping mat as well, just so that's pretty much it. That's really all I have. I do have some bands that let me show you if I can find these here. So I have some different kind of bands. So they're different strength. This is a medium one, a light one. This is the heavy one. I have some sliders. I have some cloth bands as well, different strengths. So I use those as well. So there are, but I don't have like any other equipment. I don't have any treadmills. I don't have ellipticals, whatever. I know a bench could be nice if you had a bench, but I do a lot of my exercises that, you can do on a bench, you can also do on the floor. So that's why I have like the foamy mat, which that helps me to not bang up my back too bad when I do those exercises. So start out with like small weights if that's what you want to just, kind of start getting into. And you can use light weights, and don't feel bad if those light weights are going to be with you for a long time. There's no reason for you to go out there right now and buy a whole weight rack because you're not ready for it. Or maybe you don't even know yet if this is what you want to do. So start out with super light weights, do some of the moves. Follow me on my channels. If you want to follow me on YouTube, I have like really short clips of different kind of moves you can do. Also, some of the moves you don't need any equipment for. So don't feel like you just don't even want to invest in anything at this point. Like check out my videos and you can see some of the workouts you don't need any equipment for, and it will still get your heart rate up, and it's still going to make your muscles burn because you're going to use your own body weight for these moves. Just to see, because sometimes you have to try out different things to find out if you like them or not. Because sometimes I think we overestimate what we can do, and sometimes we underestimate what we can do. So, and you don't know until you know, right? I never thought I was gonna like lift weights. Honestly, I always thought I'm gonna be like this like cardio person who just goes on the treadmill, does the elliptical, like walks and that kind of stuff. And I did some kickboxing classes, which I did like a lot. I love boxing. It's a great workout. So if there's something you want to try, definitely go to World. I have some videos you can watch of some of the moves, boxing workouts that I do. So it's a really great workout. So if you want to just start experiencing, trying out all these different things to see what you actually like, what sort of clicks with you, but you don't want to make that investment yet in a gym membership or even a trial period of like a week or so because you're not going to be able to go every day or whatever, then try those things out at home. Don't let anything like don't create obstacles for yourself. And maybe you have a friend who also wants to do this, like starting out at the same time as you, and that's great, but don't feel like you need to do exactly what your friend is doing. You can hold yourself accountable, but your friend might like completely different things than you do, and you're going to resent even having started any kind of fitness or health path because you do it for your friend, but it's not really your thing. Whatever he or she is doing, it's just not something that you actually enjoy. And it's really you're gonna do yourself a disfavor when you just keep on doing those things that you don't want to do, when you could do something that really is gonna just push you forward because you absolutely love it. You never thought you would love it, but you're just like, wow, this is my thing, this is my jam, I'm gonna go with it. So really weigh out the pros and cons. Is the gym for you, or is the just starting out by yourself at home for you? There's so many different options. And don't feel like you have to put yourself in a box that you cannot get out of. Don't stick a label like I'm a cardio person, I'm a yoga person, I'm a weightlifting person, I'm this person. Don't lock yourself in any sort of category. Always try new things, because you never know what you're going to stumble across and you absolutely fall in love with it, and it's just something that you can build on and push you forward and really, really excel at it, and most importantly enjoy it. Because when you enjoy doing something, you're more likely to stick with it long term. So think about that way. But having said all that, remember that your nutrition needs to be right there with your workouts as well. So don't say I worked out and I earned whatever meal you think you needed to earn. We're not exercising to earn a meal. And that's not what it is. And we're also not exercising because we just ate something specific that we, quote unquote, should not have eaten. Like, that's not, exercise should never be a punishment of, undoing sort of like a bad meal, whatever. And it should also not be, working towards earning a meal. That's not what you're just going nowhere and with that sort of mindset. So, and make a plan. Make a plan. It's good to have a plan. It's good to start slow. Don't like jump all in and then fizzle out, burn out. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. Again, I'm not like spending hours and hours and hours at the gym. I work out every day, mostly. I would say at least 6 out of 7 days. Between, 30 to 45 minutes. And that's it. Obviously you try to walk. I do walk pretty much every day for 30 minutes. And I take the steps if I can, right? And do all the things around the house and move around, right? But as far as actual exercise, it's usually between 30 and 45 minutes, and that's it. And everything else comes down to nutrition. And I don't mean diet, because I personally do not like that word very much, because it has this negative connotation to it that sounds like restriction and punishment of some sort, like eat this, not that. No. I do pretty much eat everything, but just like everybody else, there's certain things I just don't like, and I don't eat things that I know my body is not responding to very well, right? So if something is super healthy, for instance, like quinoa is such a great healthy ancient grain, packed full of nutrients. But my body is not good at digesting it. So it's super healthy, but I just try to not eat it too much because my body does not digest it very well. So the more in tune you can get with your body, the better as well. So there are things that are super healthy, and but your body might just not really digest it very well. So just maybe you have some food sensitivities and you need to, explore those a little bit. So really listen to your body when it comes to food as well. But don't think you need to avoid certain types of food. I mean, yes, don't eat the donuts, the pastries all the time, but do I do eat them? Yes, I do. Like, I mean, life is about living and not always restricting, but it's in the end, it's about, do you eat it all the time? I don't have cheat meals, by the way. I don't really do cheat meals because I just don't designate dates for that. Like, if I want something, then I will eat it and I will fully enjoy it and not feel guilty about it at all, because I know that the next meal is not going to be anything like that. And most of my meals are well balanced, right? But do I necessarily count calories? Used to, but I don't anymore. I really don't. I just eat what I like, what I enjoy, and also start cooking for yourself, because that way you have a completely different relationship with the food and you're going to enjoy it so much more when you really put it together and make it with, your love, your touch of special seasonings and herbs and spices and that sort of thing. It's just so much more fun and rewarding when you make your own food. And believe it or not, it is actually a lot less expensive than any kind of pre-packaged, pre-made, pop in the microwave type of foods. It's great if you're single and you don't necessarily have a budget and you can get on those food delivery systems, whatever. But I'm sorry, if you have a family to feed, then that can get really expensive, especially when, you eat obviously several times a day and you have, 4 to 6 people in your household. Then maybe that is not going to be, as budget friendly for you. So start getting look for bulk foods. Lots of bulk foods that you can get are will save you lots of money down the road. If you start cooking yourself, you're going to save a lot of money in the long term. Trust me. It might be kind of like upfront, it could be looking like a lot, but if you buy a huge bag of rice or something like that, but you can get so many meals out of that, so much more than you would get buying anything pre-packaged, pre-cooked type of, just heat up and eat type of things. So again, have a plan. Have a realistic plan. Find somebody, maybe you can do this alongside with it, even if that person doesn't live in the same town as you, or maybe even in the same state, or even in the same country. But if you have somebody who you can kind of buddy up with and you can hold each other accountable, but you have to be honest with yourself, right? You remember, if you cheat in some shape or form, the other person is not going to know, I'm not going to know, but you will know. And you can't lie to yourself. So you have to be honest, and you have to, if you quote unquote messed up in whatever way you think you messed up, then forget about it. Like, tomorrow is a brand new day. You can start again and let whatever happened that you think you messed up today, just leave it behind and start over again. But just start. Don't feel so overwhelmed. You have to be perfect. You have to have everything in place already just to get started. And you have to have XYZ ready to go. And you have to have the membership. And you have to have all this equipment. And you have to have the perfect gym outfit. You have to have the perfect shoes. Yes, if you are going to run a marathon, you definitely want to invest in a good pair of sneakers, obviously. But for everything else, just start where you are and use what you have, even if it's just a pair of sneakers and yourself. Obviously, just put them on, go for a walk, right? You don't want to go outside because it's raining and you don't have nowhere to go, then just circle your living room. Do some push-ups, do some squats, do, every time there's a commercial on, do, all 3 above for I don't know, 5 each, and then do as many rounds as you can while the commercial is on during your favorite TV show or something like that. There are ways you can incorporate fitness into your day. So don't say you don't have time, because if you have time to watch your TV shows, then you have time to get some type of workout in. And I say workout, and I don't mean you need to lift like 100 pounds or something. I just mean get moving, even if it's just dancing to your favorite song 3 times in a row, right? So just start. You don't have to be perfect to start. Don't get intimidated. You can't fail. You just learn along the way. You start something and you don't like it, it's too confusing, let it go, do something else, and maybe at one point you're going to come back and revisit that because you just wanted to do it. Just start. And don't necessarily wait for a new year to give you permission to start like your health and wellness journey. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new week, a new month, a Monday. You just need to start. You just need to decide for yourself. You don't do it for other people. I mean, everybody around you is going to benefit from your positive commitment moving forward in your health and fitness journey and your nutrition and everything else, because it's going to change your attitude, it's going to change your mood, it's going to do all these great things for you. Everybody else will benefit, but don't do it for everybody else. Do it for you, and everybody else will benefit, right? Because if you just do it, you kind of do it for other people, right? In some shape or form. But you really need to start with yourself. It really needs to be for you, because if it's not for you, you won't stick with it. It has to be really something you want to do because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good in your own skin, and you just start, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And yes, you're going to be sore at first, and that's okay. Don't use that as an excuse to take like a week or two break. Go through it. If your legs are getting sore, then just keep on walking. You need to keep going through and work out that lactic acid that built up in your muscles because you haven't moved a certain way for a really long time. But don't use that as an excuse, because once your soreness is gone and you start again, you're going to have that soreness all over again. So you might as well move through it, and you're going to get over it a lot faster, and you're going to get stronger a lot faster. So, but just start. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to start. You just need to do it. You really need to want to do it. I can be here. I can be your biggest cheerleader. I can tell you all the things and give you all the suggestions. But I cannot actually do the work for you, and I cannot eat the food for you. You have to do it. So just start. Just start. Do it for you. Do it for your longevity, for your strength building. Do it for, your own independence for as long as you can. And that's something that people don't often think about, because they're like, they're maybe in a good position, physical condition and all those things right now. But like, what about 10 years from now? What about 20 years from now, 30, 40, 50 years from now? Don't you want to be independent and healthy and do all the things that you're currently doing for yourself? Don't you want to do them still down the road at that time for as long as possible? I know I do. And I know moving of any kind brings me joy. It makes me like so happy to be able to do those things and not have to worry about any kind of limitations. So don't think, even if you have physical limitations, but there's still so many things that you can do. But remember, it all starts up here first. You have to change your mindset, and you have to change the way you look at things in order to, make those changes. It doesn't necessarily start in the gym. It starts up here first. You have to decide. You have to really want it. You have to really give it your best effort. Your best effort. And don't compare yourself to others. They might have been people you look at, they might have done this for a long, long time, and don't expect to all of a sudden look like that because you did it for 2 days in a row. Just start. Just start. Start with where you're at, what you have. But start with a mindset change first and then give it your best every single time. And I promise you, you will see change in so many positive ways, and that's gonna be a motivation itself to keep going. So like this video, I appreciate it. Share it with anybody else who might need to hear this message. I would appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. Follow me, subscribe, stay tuned. There's gonna be more things coming, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.